My friends, I am out, but you are here. How's it going? Today we are going to think together about the bell work for today and our work for today in biology class. It is the 12th of March in Try 3 Week 4. You are looking for your page 17 yellow bell work. You are correct that I have not yet gotten your other yellow bell work back to you. That should be happening by the end of the week in our weekly grading roundup. All right, please copy this idea, leave a blank for each of these. And then by the end of today, I'm pretty sure that you'll be able to answer most of these. If it's confusing, you can ask me when I come back tomorrow because we are going to be working on these ideas. But give it a shot based on what we did yesterday and see if you can answer it. All right, so our what for today is thinking about how ecosystems are powered. And this is really important because those ideas about food webs also set up some important rules about how much energy is available in ecosystems and the roles that those different organisms play. So we are going to apply what we're learning in Bio 1 to a case study, which is coyotes in Chicago. And we're going to think about how coyotes can exist in that space. So today we are watching the Chicago's Coyotes video that's on Canvas, and you're going to start making ecological energy pyramids. Let's start by updating our table of contents page. You have one new entry today. Please pause the video. I can't reach the scroll button again. I can't reach the scroll button. I can't reach it. Please pause the video and make sure that you have this written down. You are turning it in, both your shape that you'll be making and the actual written assignment. All right, cool. Sorry, that took me a minute. So today, where have we been? We talked about how genetic diversity is really important, and we talked about that within a species and talked about heredity and new combinations and phenotypes. Now, before we think about species diversity, we're going to have to pause and think about how ecosystems run so you understand why there are so many different types of species. And so where we're going is thinking about an ecosystem like this, right? Coyotes play a part in this ecosystem. And our big question, you can't see that. Hang on, I'm going to try and make the font bigger. This big question is how do coyotes live in places where ecosystems have been changed, right? Like in cities, like you're going to learn about in Chicago. And then how do animals like coyotes get all the energy they need in the many different types of ecosystems where they thrive? What are the rules that allow that to happen in a kind of naturalized, less disturbed, deciduous forest like most of Indiana was before a lot of humans moved in? I like living here, but that is what it used to look like, or in Chicago. So in the Canvas page for today, if you scroll down to Wednesday, which is here, my video is here. This is the video you're going to watch. You'll see that it is about 9 minutes. You can watch it with closed captioning, and that'll help make sure that you can learn what's happening, even if you have to watch it with no sound. You can also gather around a computer together and watch this introduction. But this idea about wild coyotes in the big city is really important for what we'll be thinking about in the weeks to come. So today's the day that you're going to learn about that. Now, in the second part of class today, I'm going to ask you to think about working on the assignment, making ecological energy pyramids. Now, I don't think many of you are going to need support, but if you do need support, we put a really great video here that will tell you about those trophic levels and just give you a quick introduction to them. Let's take a look at the actual assignment, though, so you can see what it looks like. I have to find one of the 18 places where there's a link. So you're going to make a 3D model. The 3D model is printed on the last page. Your guest teacher will tell you some stuff about this if you're here, but you can choose to color it, or you can cut out the parts that say cut it out, write your name on the inside, and then color it without the piece of paper. It's up to you what you want to do. Now, we provided some very clear instructions. You are going to check them off as you do them. And I wanted to tell you, for example, this is a picture of what this side will look like: autotroph, heterotroph, 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 but the ecosystem is wrong. So for this side, we're going to ask you to draw an example desert food chain, putting a living being in each spot and including an organism in each level of the pyramid. Neither of these are the correct ecosystem. We want to be clear with you about that. So what does it look like? Here's the desert food chain. You have it printed on your paper, or we can zoom in a little and you can pause. So when it asks you to do the desert food chain, that's this one. If it asks you to do, whoa, Dizzy, hang on. If it asks you to do the ocean food chain, it's this one. So you can pause the video. When it asks you to do a rainforest, that's this one. And then the tundra food chain is over here. So not all these food chains will work. You can't get to tertiary, you have to get to 4 sets here. So for example, this one wouldn't be what you'd use on the tundra, but there's enough information here that you will be able to do that part of the assignment. So you're just gonna like go through and do what it tells you to do. Be very careful that you are checking off all the boxes and doing those things. And then there'll be some colored pencils work. You know, there are colored pencils in my classroom. Please just leave them sharpened and back where you found them. Most people are going to do the analysis questions tomorrow while we do our work day and finish up. So hopefully you get to the point where you have mostly made and maybe you're in the middle of doing your coloring. And to thank you for your work, today you get to skip. So today you get to skip the cool down again. Might skip a lot of cool downs this week. All right, that's it for me. I hope you're doing well out there. See you soon.